Good morning and welcome. This is Kirk in the morning, being the 20th of February 2023. Definitely, we have so much in store for you. Remember, being a Monday, we discuss matters health. And on this morning's conversation, we'll just be focusing on fistula. I'll just be having a one-on-one that's with Sharon Korir, who is the founder of Save a Woman, that is on matters fistula, as well as a survivor of fistula. That's a conversation that we'll just be having later on, as mentioned, with Sharon Korir. My name is Ida Munzatsi. For starters, let us start with the traffic updates. So welcome, just to let you know that we are also coming to you live. That's on Facebook as well as YouTube. That's Kirk TV Kenya. But now let us just focus on what exactly is happening on the Kenyan roads. I'll just start by looking at Langata Road, just focusing on the Timor. That is a roundabout as you head over to Bagadi Road. There's quite some traffic right there, but as you proceed, definitely the traffic is moving, but slowly on this other side of Langata Road, just headed to the Nyayo National Stadium. There is quite some traffic, so you can opt for Mbagathi Road just in case you're headed to the CBD. Just looking at Mbagathi Road as you head over now to the Kenyatta National Hospital, it's there's no traffic there, so that's quite a good road to opt for this particular morning. And on this other side of Ngong Road, as you head over to the CBD, it's moving, but there's a little bit of congestion right there as you approach. That's the traffic area, or just around the Kenyatta National Hospital. Let us now move over to looking at Lusaka Road right here. There's traffic, being a Monday. Definitely let us now move to the CBD, and I'm just looking at the area around Angara. Definitely as you head over to the Globe roundabout, there is quite some traffic, but it's good news that is around the CBD area, because there is no quite some congestion right there. So it's quite an easy Monday. That's in the CBD. Looking at Chiromo area, just around Westlands, it's quite clear as well. There's no traffic around that area. So this is the best time for you to just get out of the house, just in case you're going about your different businesses in the CBD area. Looking at Juja Road is clear as you head over to Juja Road. But if you're coming to town around Pangani, there is traffic as well. Looking at there is Uhuru Park, or just the Uhuru Highway, there's no traffic as well. It's quite an easy Monday today. There's no traffic. There's only a little bit of congestion around roundabouts, but as you head over to the different roads, is actually quite clear. Let us now move on to now the estates, just looking at Lavington and Kilelesho right here. There is traffic as well, but that is a traffic as you head over to the CBD. But if you're going against the traffic, definitely there is no traffic. Always be careful, definitely, while you are on the roads. But as I mentioned earlier on, it is a good day just to get out and do a little bit of businesses or work here and there. So that's all we had for you as far as the traffic updates are concerned. Let us now look at the newspaper review, and we'll just be focusing on the Standard newspaper as well as the Daily Nation, as we have always done. But just a reminder, as I mentioned, Monday is always about just looking at matters health. And today we will be focusing on a fistula, a condition that affects lots of women. This according to the World Health Organization, more so in Africa. And I'll just be talking to one, Sharon Korir, who is a lawyer as well as a fistula survivor later on. But now let us just focus on the Standard as well as the Daily Nation. But first, let us get the newspaper intro. Well, we start with the Standard newspaper this morning, and the story that is hitting headlines right here on the Standard newspaper is on matters to do with the interview that the president had on a Sunday, that is on Al Jazeera, and the Standard is giving it a headline: Ruto takes on World Bank, IMF over loans. Remember, the president yesterday just talked of how the World Bank and IMF are not fair as far as a distribution of capital to the African countries is concerned. And just an excerpt right here from the Standard newspaper. President asks lenders to lower rates of borrowing in line with climate change initiative, since the current setup favors the West, who are the worst polluters, and punishes African countries that are climate change conscious. That's a story on the 4th page of the Standard newspaper. And still on the top page of the Standard newspaper, I'm just looking at a story to do with the opposition side of it, that is Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition, where the Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka just met different leaders that were elected with the Wiper ticket right here, and the that is Kalonzo Musyoka was just making it clear that Wiper party is still in the Azimio la Umoja coalition right here. So we'll just get to look at that particular story, and it is on the 8th page of the Standard newspaper, where Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka is just making it clear that his party, or the Wiper party, is still in the Azimio coalition right here. Remember, that is the coalition has been facing quite some wrangles right there. This comes after a few leaders, or those MPs that were elected in the Azimio in the Azimio coalition, as well as the Jubilee party, just met the president sometime last week right there. So that's a story that you can read on the 8th page of the Standard newspaper. And let us just go back to the story that we mentioned on the 4th page of the Standard newspaper, where the president, that is William Ruto, called out West for skewed financing in the war on pollution as far as climate change is concerned. Remember, this is a conversation that a number of African leaders or African presidents are just having as far as the major polluters who are Western countries are concerned. That's as far as just financing African countries to fight climate change. So that's a story on the 4th page of the Standard newspaper. And now, just looking at the 5th page of the Standard newspaper is on issues to do with insecurity that's in the Rift Valley, specifically Turkana, and leaders are just putting in measures right there to curb the insecurity around that particular area. And the Standard newspaper is also giving a priority that's to a story as far as the IEBC Commission is concerned. And they're giving it a title right here: IEBC panel takes shape as Azimio opts to sit out. So that's a story on the 5th page of the Standard newspaper. Just a reminder, once again, the stories that the Standard newspaper is giving a priority is on issues to do with that is the president's interview on Al Jazeera on Sunday. Remember, the president was just speaking after attending the African Union Summit that is in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. After that, he definitely had that particular interview on Al Jazeera. Let's now switch gears to the Daily Nation this morning. And the story that they are giving a priority is on matters to do with education right here. But they are also talking on the story that the Standard newspaper just highlighted as far as the president's interview on Al Jazeera on Sunday is concerned. So the big story right here is big class divide in junior high school. And they're just focusing on a number of shortages that the junior high is facing. They are looking at a teacher's shortage. They are looking at congestion. They are looking at facilities as well as training. That's as far as the competence-based curriculum is concerned. That's a story that you'll find on the Daily Nation. And still on the top page of the Daily Nation, we are looking at a story to do with the just past August election, and Ruto goes silent on state capture as far as the 2022 polls are concerned. Still on the top page, the Daily Nation is also giving a priority, that is on rebel MPs, as I mentioned earlier on, that will be forming an anti-Raila liberation group. We are just looking at a number of MPs that are from ODM as well as the Jubilee Party. Remember, the Jubilee Party is also facing quite a coup right there with two sides. And there's also a story right here as far as health is concerned. I just have to touch on it, where Cambry is just a warning of a malaria vector right here that might end up just affecting people more so in the rural areas. And it's just warning Kenyans to just adapt the different measures or tools to curb malaria. That's a story on page 12 of the Daily Nation. Let's now just look at this story that the Daily Nation is giving a priority as far as the junior high school is concerned. In numbers, we have 14. This is the number of lessons that learners in junior secondary school are supposed to take. 12 course subjects and 2 optional ones. We also have 45, which is the recommended maximum number of learners per class for junior secondary school, and 171, which is the number of junior secondary school students who are accommodated in 3 streams at one of the public schools. And just looking at, we have looked at this number, but there's quite some challenges as far as the junior secondary school is concerned. And the challenges are, we are looking at teachers, facilities, congestion in classes, as well as training. You can read that story on the second page of the Daily Nation. And now let us just look at the 4th page of the Daily Nation. That is as far as the August polls are concerned. And UDA retreats on poll state capture probes. That's a story on the 4th page of the Daily Nation right there. We are just looking at Johnson Muthama. That is during an interview in Gigiri. Now on the 5th page, this is now the story that we just mentioned. That's on the top page of the Daily Nation as far as the ODM rebels that are meant to form an anti-Raila group right there. Remember, these are just some of the MPs or just some of the leaders that were chosen with the ODM ticket, met the president sometime last week right there. And they were not just leaders from the ODM party, but a number of parties in the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya, just the Jubilee Party included as well. So that's a story on the 5th page of the Daily Nation. And on the 6th page of the Daily Nation, it's still on matters Azimio la Umoja coalition. This as far as the Wiper party leader Kalonzo Musyoka is concerned, when he was just addressing journalists yesterday, just making it clear that the Wiper party is still in the Azimio la Umoja coalition right there. So that's a story on the 6th page of the Daily Nation. And I think that is all as far as the newspaper review is concerned. Remember, we have just looked at three major stories. We are looking at the interview that the president had on Sunday on Al Jazeera, as well as the opposition side of it, as well as matters education as far as the junior secondary school is concerned. So that's all as far as the newspaper review is concerned. So we will be taking quite a short break right here. When I come back, we'll just be looking at our news at this hour, just giving a voice to the stories that we've just looked at as far as the newspapers are concerned. But as I had mentioned earlier on, we will be talking to one Sharon Korir, who is a fistula warrior, even as we focus on matters fistula, a medical condition that affects a number of women, not just here in Kenya, but mostly in Africa. This is according to the World Health Organization. So we take a very short break. We will be coming back with news at this hour.
The Department of PCA Children Ministry Head Office has good news for you. Are you looking for a profession that does not disappoint? The place to be is at PCEA Shalom ECDE College, offering a course for diploma in ECDE. Requirements are KCSE mean grade of C and above. You can also do upgrading from an ECDE certificate to a diploma, and the requirements are an ECDE certificate. Intake is currently ongoing, offering flexible modes of learning on e-learning or full-time. Enroll now and register for the 2023 class on our main campus at Zambezi Kikuyu along Nairobi Naivasha Road Lake Training Center. You can also apply online via the PCEA Shalom ECDE online registration form. Shalom Academy and Junior Secondary School intake is ongoing. We have a one-year offer on zero tuition fee to all new grade 7 students. For more information, call the office on 0111 758 285 or 0113 107 958. You can get in touch with the director, Reverend Peters, on 0725 236 260. Send us an email, pcashalomdekte@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram too at pcashalomdekte. Hostels and meals are available for the students in the same venue at a competitive price. You're welcome for a bright future career.
Keep it Kirk now and going forward. We have a lot of family programs, and this being a Christian commercial station, we will partner with you as institutions, as individuals, so that we are able to reach out to the entire world. One person said that my parish is the entire world, and I believe that Kirk TV is going globally, and therefore bring your business. We are going to advertise it and also partner with you.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 401-9613, account partner. Pay bill number 401-9613, account partner.
Are you looking to grow your business? Kirk TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@kirktv.org or call 011 00 90647.
We start a program that helps us to go on a journey to get to understand the ministers who are now retired, who spent most of their life in the pulpit and now are in the pew listening to others continue with the work of ministry.
I have retired from now employment, the formal employment, but I have not expired.
We get onto a journey to understand their experiences and the things that they have gone through, the journey of their lives that can be helpful to those of us that are still in active ministry. And we can tap from their wealth of experience so that we can know how to continue with the work of ministry.
Even the ministers we have today, I would like them to know there is today and tomorrow.
Well, welcome back. This is still Kirk in the morning, and now let us just look at news at this hour. And Kenya is ready to fight M23. This according to President William Ruto, who spoke on Sunday to Al Jazeera journalists at the end of the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. According to him, Kenya will deploy troops to DR Congo by the end of February. The president also called for reforms on what he termed as unjust, unfair, and unaccountable international finance system.
The multilateral financial banks and the entire international financial system has not been just and has not been fair and has not been accountable. And all we are asking is we want to have an even conversation. We do not want a financial system that favors us. We want a fair one. As things stand today, the current financial setup favors the global north against the global south. Why do I say that? Today, development finance you can access for Kenya, for example, and most of African states, Zambia, Ghana, in fact, all sovereign states that have gone to the international financial market, they are paying anywhere around 10%. Our compatriots in the global north are paying anywhere between 0.05%, 0.1%. Clearly, we are accessing development finances 100 times more expensively than they do from the financial institutions. That is not fair. And that is why we have found ourselves where we are. And that is why we are saying the current financial setup is rigged against those in the global south, especially in the continent of Africa. If you go to the financial markets today, we are paying 100 times more than our friends in the global north are paying. And we are saying if we have to fund the development that we have to change the financial system.
Is Kenya ready to fight M23 or even Rwanda in Congo?
Kenya is ready to do what we agree as the East African heads of state. We had a meeting on Saturday. We agreed on the timelines. It is true, Kenya is the only country that has deployed in DRC. It was agreed that 5 countries deploy. Only Kenya has deployed. We are waiting, and we have agreed that by end of this month, all the other countries will deploy. We have agreed on a metrics of deployment. We have agreed on a course of action. We have agreed that this military intervention is going to be in parallel with a political engagement of the combatants on the ground, M23, and all the other fighting forces, so that we can give ourselves the best opportunity to succeed. This cannot be sorted out militarily alone. It has to be a combined effort between a military track and a political track, and we have agreed as EAC on the way forward.
Wiper Party says it fully supports Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition's ongoing nationwide rallies, in which the coalition's leader Raila Odinga has been mobilizing supporters to oppose the Kenya Kwanza government. Odinga has lined up a series of rallies in various counties as he mobilizes supporters to reject the President William Ruto's regime. And while he has already held several rallies in Nairobi, Machakos and Kisumu counties, there have been reports going round that Kalonzo Musyoka party is not in support of the rallies. In a statement on Sunday after a 2-day retreat in Naivasha, Musyoka said Wiper remains in Azimio and backs the public engagement forums.
We also want to thank Kenyans in general, and in particular those who voted overwhelmingly for our Wiper and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance candidates in the last general election. We won. Our victory may have been stolen by the IEBC under the direction of Wafula Chebukati and in a compromised Supreme Court. But the real court, the People's Court, is yet to give its verdict. Fellow Kenyans, in a shameless effort to legitimize their fraud, the executive has made many attempts to divide the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. They have openly used public institutions and public resources to entice individual members, quote unquote, in the name of development, to break ranks with their political parties. They have systematically tried to erode all the gains of multi-party democracy and our Constitution 2010 and take this nation back to one-party state. We, the leaders of the Wiper Democratic Movement, want to emphasize that we will not to retrogress to the dark days of the one-party state. Despite all their efforts, we remain united and indeed intact. Fellow Kenyans, it is a well-known fact that this government has consistently lied to you, who continues to lie to you to date. Today, the Mamamboga cannot pay rent. The boda can barely fuel their motorbikes. Our farmers have maize rotting in silos. Yet this government is hell-bent on feeding Kenyans with GMOs. The average mwananchi is being overtaxed and overburdened. Unemployment is on the rise. Kenyans are losing their lives to senseless violence, and the state of insecurity is alarming. Enough is enough. Following our 2-day retreat, we, the Wiper Democratic Movement, have resolved the following. Number 1, that we firmly remain in the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance. Number 2, that we fully support the ongoing Azimio la Umoja One Kenya People's Barazas. Number 3, that we will conduct a massive nationwide membership recruitment drive as a party. And number 4, as a party, we have also resolved that our county assembly members should fully support our governors and work together as a team.
Now, elsewhere, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has declared that government appoints and contracts are a preserve of those who voted for Kenya Kwanza government. Gachagua says the government, the Kenya Kwanza government, will reward its staunch supporters and those who toiled to put the current government in office and give least considerations to members of the opposition.
Mvune yule ambaye alipanda atafanya nini? Simulipanda? Simuliamuka mapema? Mukasema mutaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Muka invest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu. Na itakuwa namna hiyo. Najua wengine wananikashifu ati mimi nasema ati wale walipanda wavune kwanza. Iko makosa? Iko makosa? Hata hao watavuna, lakini wangoje. Si wale walipanda ni wavune kwanza. Wakishavuna wavune ile tabaki kidogo, wale wakupanda waingie watafute huko nini ile itapatikana wachukue wakwende. Si iko namna hiyo? Na itakuwa namna hiyo. Ndio watu wakipiga kura waelewe hii kura ni kusema nini. Hii kura iko na maana. Nyinyi hamwezi piga kelele huko, mpige kelele. Mnasema William Ruto ni bure. Hawezi, mnaita yeye majina, alafu akipata, akigawa, mnapiga laini ati mko pale mbele. Ati mnataka mpite wale walisema anafaa ati mkue pale mbele. Inawezekana? Mimi kazi yangu pale kwa Ikulu ni hiyo. Ni kupanga hiyo laini. Hapo ni kazi mimi napanga hapo. Mimi naangalia kwa laini, nikiona wewe ulipanda, natoa wewe nyuma, napeleka wewe mbele. Nikiona wewe hukupanda na kutoa na kurudisha nyuma, ufanye nini? Niendelee na hiyo kazi ama niwache? Mimi niseme nyinyi watu ya Kericho. Nilienda kwa Kasa FM nikaongelesha nyinyi. Mlinisikiza? Nikamwambia mjipange. Na mpange laini ya UDA. Na mimi nasema mlinisikiza, nasema asante. Asante. Mimi naambianga watu ukweli. Na niliambia nyinyi, huyu Ruto huyu pale kwa mlima tumejipanga na yeye. Ni nyinyi mnaweza kutuangusha. Watu wengine walikuwa nasema hii Wakikuyu hawezi pigia mtu mwingine. Nikaambia nyinyi hamjui sisi. Sisi tukipenda wewe, tukikuamini, tukikubali kutoa sisi hapo nikibarua. Mimi niwaambia Rais Uhuru Kenyatta rafiki yangu. Nikamwambia sisi tulihama. Tumejipanga na hii kijana alikuwa anafuga kuku huyu. Huyu unadharau huyu, tuko hapo. Wewe pahali huko uko peke yako. Na kura haiko mbali. Situngoje tu. Siku kura napigwa. Ile hesabiwa Ruto Raila. Ruto Raila. Si ilikuwa namna hiyo? Acha niwaambie hii Kenya hii. Mtu asicheze na raia. Wenye kusema hii Kenya ni hawa wananchi. Na ukiwadharau watakudharau. Ukiwaonesha mgongo watakuonesha mgongo. Sisi tumeendelea mbele, hatulipishi kisasi, hatuna haja kufuata mtu yeyote.
Elsewhere, the fire that has been raging on for 14 days in the Aberdare National Park and destroying over 40,000 acres of forest land continues to consume vegetation. Kenya Wildlife Service now says the effects of the fire is one of Kenya's main water towers could be felt in the coming months as water flow from sources of several rivers continue to dwindle. However, KWS says they are confident that the fire will be put out in 2 days' time.
Progress since yesterday is that the fire is technically being contained. We are lucky. Yesterday we received some light showers, but they were on the lower forest zone. Today, as we speak, there's still some rain coming through, but it's not yet up in the moorland. We just pray that this will all go into the moorland and support those teams.
And the Kenya Medical Research Institute researchers have discovered a dangerous mosquito vector. The mosquito vector is said to be from Southeast Asia and thrives in urban and rural areas. KEMRI now warns that malaria cases could rise, calling for use of malaria prevention tools. All right, that's all we had for you as far as the news at this hour is concerned. As mentioned earlier on, we will be looking at a fistula in this morning's conversation, but unfortunately my guest will not make it to the show this morning. However, we still have something for you. Remember, February, we are still focusing on matters epilepsy, and that's exactly what I'll be leaving you with, as I had a one-on-one conversation with Eva, who is a person living with epilepsy, as well as a doctor and a specialist in matters epilepsy. So that's a conversation that I leave you with this morning. Thank you so much for keeping me company. My name is Aida Munzatsi. Until Monday, have a blessed Monday morning.